What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Happy Wednesday. It is Wednesday today, right? And here we are with the Challenge All Stars recap. Honestly, I would love to give the recaps when I watch them because I watch them anytime between like 5 and 7 o'clock in the morning. And the reason why I do that is because once my day actually gets going, it steamrolls. So I've realized when I have the opportunity, obviously when it's on MTV, I don't have a choice because it shows for all of us at whatever time. One time it was 10, one time it was 8. 8 was the original time. And then I would sit down and watch it from 8 to 9 or 8 to 9:30 because I think they made it an hour and a half. But now that they put it on the app at 3 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock Eastern time, approximately, like I said, I watch it anytime between 5 and 7. So I'm already done watching. The only reason I don't do the recap at that time is because I know most people don't watch it that early. So I just set a time to talk about it after work so that more people are able to see it when I go on live. So in between the episodes, there has just been so much speaking online, and all the talk, as we all know, has now been centered around Kara. And I said this last week, and I'll say it again. It's interesting how when she first got on the show, she was bullied for being different. At that time, she was not confident in herself. She was unsure of herself. She was actually in, various different relationships. Most prevalent, we remember the relationship that she had with Abram, where Abram was somebody who he would stand up for her, and he was um there were some parts of him that were good, but then we learned later on down the road that some parts of him were not good, and she got out of that relationship, which was a toxic relationship that she was in. And she went on to compete on challenges. She got with a couple of different people, but eventually she ended up with Polly, and Polly and her have whatever they have going on, relationship, whatever it is. I personally don't care too much about that stuff. It seems like it works for her, so it works for her. But the main thing I was going to say about that is that she was off of the show for quite a few seasons and quite a few years after doing back to back to back seasons. And it seems like during that time, she kind of found herself, found her voice, found her confidence. And now she came into the house and was kind of bullied in a way. She doesn't like the term bullied because she said, "Oh, no, it wasn't bullying. It was just isolation and making things up about me." But I think it's a form of bullying. She got bullied in different ways, even coming back as a totally different person in a totally different mind space. But, anyways, on to the episode. The episode starts with Kara having a conversation with Ace, and Kara says that she's comfortable with Ace, Steve, and she basically said sometimes Jay. But the thing with Jay is Jay says that Nicole and Kara are his 1-2, and it seems that Kara is his 2 and Nicole is his 1. Funny how that ends up happening, that somebody is close with both. Nicole gets in yet another confrontation with Kara. This I am getting tired of. Y'all don't like each other. Laurel clearly picked her side. She's Team Nicole at this point in time. So just leave Kara alone. That's the way that I'm feeling. And that's what Kara is telling Nicole. Kara is telling Nicole at this point, just leave me alone. Because what's the point of this conversation? Because Nicole called Kara paranoid and malicious. And Kara is basically saying, anytime that I talk to somebody who is a friend with Nicole, Nicole is like, "Why are you talking to Kara? She's this and she's that." And Nicole is trying to ice people out from talking to Kara, basically. You can't be friends with her and me. You have to choose sides, which I don't really know why she even felt like she needs to do, because it seemed like Kara only had so few. true friends in this house. So at some point during a discussion, Kara it calls Nicole an idiot. No comment on that, but Flora and Cam did not like that. So they were like, she's not an idiot. Don't call her an idiot. So Laurel and Floral are having a discussion and they're calling Kara poison. And I'm sitting here like, I saw Derek and Scott say this on their Challenge Mania podcast. They were like, unless there's a tremendous amount of things on the cutting board, like the editing board, we're not seeing any of these things that they're saying about her. Making up lies about people, being malicious, being nasty, and being toxic. I just feel like it's one of those things where one or two people with loud voices are saying these things, and then the rumor just picks up and picks up and picks up and picks up and picks up to the point where people are not even speaking to her to really know, you know, who she is and get to know her and who she is as a person. Because I think a lot of these people we've heard speaking out against her don't even have a personal relationship with her, especially some of the all-stars. Some of them, yeah, they have history, they've known her, but some of them don't actually have a real history with Kara. And they're just going off of what other people are saying. And Laurel, yikes, man. Laurel is just coming off looking like, I don't know. Maybe she's scorned or something. I don't know. It's just a lot. Laurel is a lot this season. I mean, Laurel is always a lot. I was gonna say that. I didn't have that in my notes, but I will say I went on YouTube and looked up. Um, I saw this video of this Laurel compilation, and she has a history of terror in those challenge houses to the point of in this day and age, she is cancel worthy. But for some reason, people don't want to cancel her. I'm not saying that she should be canceled, but I'm just saying based on people's tolerance in this era being so low, you would think that her sometimes narcissism, sometimes like abusive tactics would make people like, oh, she shouldn't be cast again. Although I'm sure there's a sector of the fandom that's saying that. You all know that I don't really tune into that too much. I'm just saying, based on what people have wanted other people canceled for, I'm surprised there's not a heavy campaign like that for her. Let's see. So we get into this daily challenge where they are jumping over water, grabbing these big balls and diving down in the water, and then finishing a puzzle. So here's what I'm thinking, and here's what Kara is saying. Kara is basically saying, I have to be in the winning group in order to secure my star, in order to get another star after Cam took her star last week. And I'm thinking the same thing. I'm thinking, unless she's in the winning group, there's no way that she's getting a star. The middle group is the deliberation group, so you have some power in the middle group, but the star power, I'll call it, the star power is in the top or the bottom. The top because you can choose to throw yourself in, and the bottom because you can now be one of the people that you can hopefully politic and get people to put you in. So the people who end up winning are Laurel and Derek. And then when I see the middle group, I'm saying to myself, they are for sure going to block Kara from even getting a chance to go into this elimination, right? That's my thoughts. I'm like, there's no way. Once I saw that Kara didn't win, I was like, it's not possible for her to go in. I mean, yes, it's a possibility because she is within that losing group, but I would just think, oh, they're talking about how strong and good she is. So why would they want to give her an opportunity to get that star? Pride and ego are an amazing thing. because Laurel is like, I want to go into this elimination against Cara Maria. And I was thinking, is she nuts? She's like, I want to send her home. I want to be the one who basically takes her off of her high horse because I've beaten her before and I could beat her again. And I'm like, we're going to get a Cam versus, I mean, not a Cam, sorry, a Cara versus Laurel. At that point, I'm excited because I'm like, this is going to be the matchup of the century, the ultimate grudge match. I can't think of the last time two people with this much history and this type of situation went against each other in the elimination round. Like, this gives Jordan volunteering to go against Johnny. Why couldn't I think his name? Jordan and Johnny, or like Wes and Derek, or it gave the classic feels of just a huge rivalry build up to where I'm thinking like, okay, this is a huge deal, not just because of the money, because we don't even know when the finals is yet, so we don't know who's gonna win, but because that person who loses that match is gonna have to hold that particular L, which is gonna have so much spice to it. So then Laurel is talking to Cam. And remember last week, I said, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. I said, I don't believe in this faux friendship that Laurel suddenly has with Cam. I think she was just talking to Cam because that's another strong player that is on her side in her fight to get Cara out. I don't think that getting Cara out was really even strategy for her, like game strategy. I think it was just a personal thing because of what she had going on with Nicole and how she was so blindsided to everything with Nicole. So when she told Cam, how would you feel about me putting or you going up? Because she can't put her up, but she was like, how would you feel about you going up? And Cam asked her, are you sure that it would just be me going up? And for sure, you would come and take me out of that sand because you want to go against Cara. And she's like, yes, I'm sure. And I'm sitting here saying to myself, there is no way that the killer Cam that I know is going to trust Laurel to actually do this. At this point of the episode, I was not trusting that. Then when they showed that little hinting from Leroy where he was like, something doesn't feel right, I'm like, Laurel's not going to go in that sand. Laurel is not going to go in that sand. She's going to go around the house talking about how she's going to take her out. She's going to talk all big and bad. And then she's going to get there and she's not going to go down. But I was like, let's see what happens. Let's see if they surprise me. So we get into this elimination. They see what the elimination is. Cara and Cam are down there, and Cam is looking up at Laurel. Like, are you going to do what you said that you were going to do? Right? TJ is like, Laurel, are you going to come down here and take one of these ladies' spots? Everybody's looking at Laurel. Laurel is like, nope, I'm going to sit this one out, Tej. Cam is pissed, obviously. Cam is like, you said that you were going to do this. Like, this is not a smart move. What's this going to accomplish? Even if I get out, you still don't have a star, and who knows how many eliminations are left. She's like, nope, I'm staying up. I'm staying up here. I'm staying up here. Cara said, I'm going to take that as if Laurel is scared to go against me. That's what it is. That's literally what it is. What other way is there to take it? She was being humble when she said that. Laurel was scared to go against Cara in this elimination. So this elimination was something where they go in this contraption underwater with grates, and there's balls on the top of the water, and then they have to navigate the balls through this hole and then drop them in this basket. And the first person to, I think, 10 in the basket wins. So we see that strategy matters in these things because we've seen multiple different cases, like with the one that Adam won with pressing the video game buttons in order, and Brad was just guns blazing because he wanted to finish fast. I think Cam kind of did that, where Kara made sure that she corralled all the balls into one spot so she could take them out easily one at a time, whereas Cam just was taking them out as quickly as possible to get them in the basket as quickly as possible. So she lost, and that star that Cam was so excited to take from her was taken right back, and she was taken out of the game the very next episode. Kara's karma is real. Now, I was excited when Kara won, but I was not so excited at the fact that Cam was against her all season when it seemed like they had something going on. And actually, when I say had something going on, I mean, it seemed like they were cool at the beginning and they were planning to work together, and everything just changed course with this thing with Ayana at the beginning. So the reason I have my phone out is because I happened to see right before I got on here that Kara posted this picture of her and Killer Cam down in the sand. And she wrote this long thing with it. I'm going to read it, though. I remember how excited I was to see Cam and Lee at the airport before the challenge started. I wanted to help them get to that final. I would have been the knight at their side. I knew that they were fighting for their new family. I have always respected them and put them on a pedestal as a couple. Unexpectedly to me, their game was to come at me at all costs. I was disposable since they had an entire house play their game, and I was not needed, I guess. If coming at me to the deaths was solely because I didn't make a vote that would break a promise and ruin my game, while also not changing the desired outcome regardless, well, that's a pretty extreme reaction, haha. From there, my biggest challenge was to navigate a season where the people I rooted for the most were coming at me the hardest. I wanted to keep things respectful and take it in stride. Despite what happened, I will always root for them no matter what. Cam asked me to take care of Lee if we both got to the final, and I promised I would. I just like to compete. If I'm a threat, so be it. In the end, Cam really thought Laura would jump in a limb for her, and yet, here we are. Despite how things unfolded, Cam is a new mother. Please be kind. A game is a game. I wouldn't say anything bad against people I care about on and off the game, no matter what is said about me. I don't root for people to fail. I just want everyone to do their best, especially against me. When I was at my lowest years ago, there was a tiny few who were there for me. It was more popular to jump on the bashing bandwagon, so many castmates did. With that said, I know how it feels to be piled on by fans in a negative way. I ask you guys to keep it respectful, enjoy the show, and don't take it below the belt when it comes to those I am competing against. I love your energy and rush to protection, but if you really have my back, you will keep it clean. Checkmate for now, but there's always a new game to be played. And remember, obstacles are tossed in your path to test your resilience and make you stronger. Hard in the moment, but thankful for the fire. It's hard to believe that somebody as physically, mentally, emotionally strong as Kara could be an underdog, but she became an underdog. They made her into an underdog, not an underdog in a sense of her ability to win games and her ability to win challenges. They made her an underdog in the sense of just flat out being like, we don't want you here. And we are going to rearrange everything in this house to make sure that you are not in it. So every week that I watch her survive another week, I'm like, go Kara. And it's so interesting for me as a long-term challenge fan who was a fan of her back in the days when she was getting picked on in different ways for her hair and for her awkwardness and for the way she speaks and just the way she dressed. You know, anything and everything. You're not one of the cool kids, so you can't sit at the cool kid table. People were like, you have no right to be in this house when she first started. And now people are like, you're too confident. You think too much of yourself. You should not be talking about how much of a strong competitor you are. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. That's what it seems like. But I, for one, I'm not part of Kara's cult or Kara's clan. I am a Kara fan. But it inspires me seeing somebody go through all these obstacles and stand strong and stay there and hang in there, because many people might have broken in that same scenario. I know this is nothing like the challenge, but I had a work scenario where it was me stacked up against multiple people in power at my job, to where I opened up an HR report and I felt so defeated every day, because I'm like, I'm fighting to continue to do the job that I'm doing, but I'm also fighting against the people who are supposed to be assisting me in doing that job. And many days I got up and felt like quitting. And I feel like no matter how strong she presents on the TV, there's no way that it could be easy waking up every day in a house full of people who let you know that they don't like you every opportunity they get. Thank goodness she had a few people. Thank goodness she had Ace, Steve, and Jay, because the rest of the house is just anti-Kara, and it seems like there's nothing that she can do about it. So I'm just proud of watching her and the way that she fights through, and the way that she channels the energy, the negative energy that's being thrown at her, into just, I'm just going to do my best and I'm just going to fight for this game. And I just want to win and I just want to compete. Similar circumstances kind of broke Wes. And I said that to Wes. I watched Wes's recaps and I said that to him after one of his recaps, I think episode 3 or 4, an earlier episode in the same season. And I said, it kind of reminds me of your last couple of seasons on the flagship show, where as soon as he got into the house, they were like, we got to get out Wes. Except in Wes's case, it wasn't just because he's strong, because nowadays the flagship show is as much about athletics as it is about strategy. There's many strong people on the show nowadays. So it's not like Wes is the strongest person in the house when he's been in those houses in recent years. But they're like, we can think back to all of these times we let him stay in the house and he manipulated us, or he confused us. He threw us a smoke screen and he got his way by just being really good at speaking and conveying his points and convincing people. But that's not even Kara. Kara does not play a good political game. She's just a strong physical competitor. That's it. And they're like, we just want you out. But then it's like, Laurel is also an extremely strong physical competitor. For that house, I mean, even though Nicole has not really historically performed so well on the challenge, she's a strong woman. we have strong people in this house that are not being targeted because it's like Kara, Kara, Kara. Let's just get out Kara. So for those who are tired of seeing all the Kara love and all the Kara support, what she said in this thing here is on her Instagram post. It's the truth. There was a time when she wasn't getting that. There was a time when she was on those seasons where there was no like social media contingent to back you up after the fact. Whatever they showed on the show is whatever it is, and that's it. If you're popular, you get the love. If you're not popular, you don't get the love. So I'm for all the love that she's getting. I hope she continues to get it. I also do hope that they don't throw hate on other people, but that's gonna happen too. Unfortunately, a pro and a con of being on one of these shows in this day and age. The pro is that just getting on the show, you're going to get some kind of fame. You're going to get some kind of popularity, and sometimes you can convert that into getting money. The bad part is now all the fans get to look and see how everything is and then talk about it in forums, tag you on Twitter, tag you on Instagram, and say whatever they want to say. Throw things in your DMs, you know. That part sucks, honestly. Like, I wish that we could just have our opinions without really saying things that are so terrible that they would affect somebody's mental health, but it is what it is. So now here we are. We're very close to the end, it seems. I don't know how many episodes are left, but there's only so many stars to go around, and TJ says, do not pass up on an opportunity to get a star if you have a star. And Laurel is basically saying in the confessional, I have to assume if I'm still here, there's still a chance for me to get a star. So that's the end of that. Cam is no longer there. Shout out to Cam. I know that I felt sad when she left. Despite the fact that I wanted Kara to win, I felt sad when she left. One, because on most other seasons, I have been a huge Cam fan. Even when a lot of people didn't like her, I'm like, Killer Cam all day. This season was a little bit different. And how about them playing that sad music? I'm your lady. I'm like, first of all, they got all the royalties to these really expensive songs, I'm sure. But they showed her saying goodbye to Leroy, and that was really sad. But then I also thought it's so funny how everyone in the house was willing to let go of Cam. Like people like Avery talking about, hopefully Cam takes out Kara, but either way, a strong woman leaves. So all this stuff that everyone did for Cam, they were looking at Cam as well. And I feel like a lot of them felt that way. I feel like a lot of them felt like I would prefer for Kara to go, but either one of you going is a win. Cause now we don't have one of the stronger women, and Lee is out here by himself. Cause both of them making the final, we all know 2 chances to win that money because it's going back to the same house. So that's my recap. Thanks for joining me here. And please make sure like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell to get notified of when I drop some more great content. Thank y'all and have a great night.